Hey guys, welcome to the Wrestling Escape Pod and welcome to a very excited Wrestling Days. I always feel like I say that at the start, but there's a reason why I'm always excited. It's because it is time for another episode of the Wrestling Escape Pod with my good friend Tommy Toy Travels. Tommy Toy Travels. Is that how you do it? Is that like a new
Triple
thing?
T.
The Triple T. Is that
Triple T.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Triple T. I tell you what, Austin 316's doing that as we speak now. That's all he's doing. He's going to be running around doing this all the time. Yeah! Triple T, baby! How are you?
I'm doing just fine, Days. I'm like you. Every day I look forward to this.
Yes. Yeah, we were just quickly catching up and I was saying every day just bleeds into the next day, every week bleeds into the next week, and I just feel like I'm living in a world of grey. So this is a little bit of colour that gets injected into my week. So very much looking forward to today's topic, which is going to be best weapons. Now, I will admit that this was a topic that I wanted to do for a while, and a topic I wasn't too sure how to approach because, I mean, like you can say the sledgehammer with Triple H, but how long do you spend on that? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's that done. So it's hard to know how to go about this one. But we have spoke about the sledgehammer before, haven't we? I saw you just indicating there. He doesn't really use it the way that we would like to see it being used. But so to start us off, then, when we came up with this topic, when we threw this around and said this is what we're going to do this week, what came to mind for you? Oh, hello. We've got some sound drama. You have gone on mute. You are now officially on mute. Here we go. This is going to be great on the Apple Podcast, by the way. Apple Podcast. This is gonna be awesome. This is shout out to you boys. Shout out to the Apple Podcast boys. Very special episode coming your way right now. I can tell you that it is currently being teased. We have got some of the finest minds just working on this technical difficulty. And we're still not quite there. So I tell you what, I'm going to tell you what I thought of when it came to the best weapons. And the ones that came into my mind was things like the Big Boss Man with his nightstick. The Big Boss Man with his nightstick is one of the very first matches that I ever saw. I remember Big Boss Man versus Nails at Survivor Series, and it was a nightstick on a pole match. It's kind of crazy to me that one of the first ever wrestling matches that I saw was all about a weapon, and it was the first person to grab that nightstick would then be allowed to use it. And so Boss Man got it, and he was like, beating down on Nails and everything, and it was just like, I couldn't believe that this was allowed. I couldn't believe that a prisoner and a prison guard were having a match, and the first to get a nightstick was allowed to. I didn't even know what a nightstick was. It's thanks to wrestling that I even know what a nightstick is. But Boss Man, the way they used to spin it round and everything, he was so good with that nightstick. I wish I was good at anything as much as the Boss Man is good at twirling his nightstick around. That sounded wrong. But yeah, what... What came to your mind, Tommy, when you heard of best weapons? I know you're proud.
Okay, the best weapon in my mind. Well, I think we talked about this before. I really enjoy Lego pieces. I think that's a terrible, devastating weapon, but I don't want to retread. The Wrestling Escape Pod isn't about going places we already went. It's about going to the future. So I'm going to bring up something that I don't think has been mentioned yet on this episode, and Nightsticks.
Yes, Nightsticks. Was you did you ever see like the Boss Man with the nightstick? And
I did not.
no. Oh,
No.
it was a treat.
Yeah.
It was. In fairness, I don't know if anyone else has ever used a nightstick. I can't. I don't know if they've ever made another appearance because I believe that it. Do they have it in America? Like, we have batons where you do that and they like extend out like a lame lightsaber. You go and then like that, right? And then like and you club away on whatever. Do your prison officers have like nightsticks?
It's America. We love weapons. I'm pretty sure we have those in our arsenal.
Yes.
And speaking of weapons in arsenals, I remember getting a Mattel figure of Dean Ambrose that actually came with those. So did he use them, or was it just they had the extra accessory?
I think he did use them because there was an episode of Raw or SmackDown, I think it was Raw, where he actually arrived in a police van, jumped out, and he was in a policeman's uniform. And I think he did have a couple of nightsticks on him. So you are right. That might have been the most recent sighting that we've had of nightsticks. So breaking news. Nightsticks have been used more recently than what you would believe. So you spoke about Lego pieces. Where did you see them getting used? Is it on that indie scene that I've heard about so much?
Yes, PWG, interspecies wrestling. I know both of those really like doing Lego matches.
Yeah, I remember they did it on AEW. They used some Lego pieces there.
Legit.
I think it was something to do with Nakazawa having a match against, I can't remember his name. I think he might have, I want to say it was at a gaming convention, and
yeah,
I think they had that guy, whatever he was called, Nakazawa against and I'm sure there was Lego pieces used in that match. Do you know, whilst I was doing research for this, I read that in TNA they actually used, and this is devastating, I've never seen this, but I do want to find it, they used gummy bears.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Gummy bears? How do you use gummy bears as a weapon? Do you throw them in someone's eyes? What do you do? Do you hope they get a sugar rush, or I don't know, what do you do?
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to see that too. I saw it. And it just had like I think we saw the same article. It was just a picture of gummy bears messing up the match. And I was like, come on. We need better journalism.
Yes. How are we meant to be good journalists if we can't rob from the journalists that aren't, like, it's lazy. That was lazy of them to not do a better article for us to steal. How dare they? So
you're right. How dare they?
I would love to.
One thing I hate though, weapon-wise. Speaking of how dare they, this is actually the actual thing that came to my mind is
here we go.
Fluorescent lights. Absolutely hate it because they're so dangerous.
Right. What, for the environment?
Especially because what was it?
For the environment.
For the environment, for long-term health issues with the whatever you can breathe in, and also people get big time cut up from them. Like I think that's how Nick Gage got big time, or Nick Gage, indie guy, and it's one of those things where it's like I don't want to be first row while people are having a match with those, because I don't want to get cancer from watching wrestling.
Yeah, like proper bleeding out kind of a thing. Cause like there's some kind of cuts that you can get that like just won't stop bleeding. It's funny.
Micro cuts.
With like a blade job, you can kind of control it. Like I think they know the best areas to cut, like on the forehead where it's not gonna gush. But you tend to get with like fluorescent light spots and things like that you can get some nasty bleeding. So this has started on a pleasant tone. So talking of glass though, do you remember the Moxley Omega match where they used fake glass. Do you remember Moxley putting it in Omega's mouth and then taping his mouth shut? Did you see that? So they did that unsanctioned match, and they actually had this bag of fake glass, and during the match he actually stuffed it into Omega's mouth and then put tape over the top. As I was like doing the research for this, it became very apparent that literally anything and everything at some point has been a weapon. I would struggle to find anything that hasn't been a weapon at this point.
Yes.
Is that a plane in the background? What was that in the background? I heard some noise in the background.
Yep, it's a plane.
That was a plane.
Yep.
Wow. So you live by an airport, or there's someone lost?
I think it's the airport.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Another.
So right now someone's triangulating where airports are in Boston and figuring out, okay, what time do they record the podcast? What planes are going by at that time? How long between when they're recording and when it flew over? I need to triangulate where Triple T lives. Triple T. Yes. The biggest weapon used in wrestling, the human mind.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That is good. That is good. I wish WWE would try it, but very very apt. Did you find, when you was doing your research, did you find any weird weapons? Was there a weapon that you saw and you was like, huh?
Yeah.
Care to share, or just gonna keep that to yourself?
No, I think we might have to make this episode one of our PG-13 episodes if you want me to continue down this line.
Hello. Go to bed, youngsters. Go to bed.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? Even I might leave. What are you?
CZW, Combat Zone Wrestling.
Yeah.
Had a fans bring the dildo match.
Oh no. Oh, I just want to apologise to any sponsors that are watching. I didn't know it was going to go down this road. Although, if Blue Chew were sponsoring, this would be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Or if any dildo companies want to sponsor, then
we're shameless. We need money.
Yeah, we need money. So
to move away from underneath this airport.
Yeah. So Slapjack, if you are watching, you and your I don't know how far to go with this because there's so. Do you know what I mean? Oh, we've gone off the rails. I don't know who to blame. I think it's your fault.
Well, they are expensive, so I don't know.
Are they? Are they, Tommy? Are they? Tommy?
I genuinely don't know, but I assume. I don't know why I was.
They're expensive, dude. Well,
I literally have no idea.
Right.
They could be the cheapest thing in the world, but I don't.
Right. Anyone else uncomfortable? Right now, I'm really uncomfortable. I'm really. Do you know what I mean? Just kind of like, wow, where do we go from here? Where does my life go from here? Let alone this episode. So, okay, right. Let's try and get it back on track. Well, hang on, no, let's not. So, sorry, was you there for that show?
No, I watched it on YouTube today. Well,
so you didn't take one along.
No,
you weren't there in the front. Woo!
No, they're too expensive for me to buy. I watched it. It was terrible. It was one of the worst wrestling matches I've seen. It's not a good weapon. It's just...
Of course, it's not going to be a good weapon. Well, again, I would imagine. Depends how big, doesn't it?
Well, they had multiple sizes.
Right. Okay.
They had some glued onto a ladder, but then that's just.
They had some glued onto a ladder.
Yeah, it's kind of cheating. You just glue one onto I don't know, a knife.
Well, what would you do with it on a ladder? If you're gonna swing a ladder, you're gonna hit them with a ladder, aren't you? So
yes,
they're swinging a ladder, but they're hitting them With the
With
dildos?
both.
With both?
With both. Yes.
Right, okay. Wow. Yeah, I don't see the... Surely the ladder's going to hurt more.
Yes, without a doubt. Yeah.
Although you can get some that have got, like, bumps and things on.
I'd imagine
Some-
that you could get some with bumps.
Yes. Some
Yeah.
some protruding items as well. That...
Just so everyone knows, we are just assuming. We have no idea.
No.
We are our parents don't let us know about this stuff yet. So
No. I mean, I just don't know what to do right now. I just...
yeah.
I just-
Don't worry, I'm good at segue. So speaking of weirdest wrestling weapons, Tommy Toy Travels and what he saw on the internet today is very dangerous.
What did you see? That?
I just told you, yeah.
Oh, right, okay, right. I thought you was going somewhere else then. I was like, how is this going to get any worse? I was like, oh my God.
That was it. That was like, I saw that. I was like, I'm not going to mention it on the podcast. But guess what happened?
Guess what? Yeah. Guess what happened? Well, look, the weirdest I saw was a leg. A leg was used. Diesel during In Your House 7 was fighting against Shawn Michaels. All of a sudden, he jumped out the ring, went over to a very famous wrestler called Mad Dog Vachon, who had been in an accident. And all of a sudden, he grabbed him out of the crowd, threw him down on the floor, took his leg off, and then got back into the ring and went to hit Shawn Michaels with a fake leg. But he missed. Shawn grabbed it and kind of did sweet chin music with a fake leg. I mean, it's just one of those you've got to see it to believe it kind of moments. But when we were saying that, like, pretty much anything and everything has been used as a weapon, I mean, I think we've proven that is very much true. That is very much true. Have you got like someone that when you think of them and their weapon? So like we've already touched on Triple H, but was there anyone else that you could think of or that came to mind at all?
Yeah, this is for all the indie fans. Man Scout Jake Manning. What he does a lot recently is he's like a Man Scout, a Boy Scout, but he's a man. So he walks out with his Bible, but that's not his weapon. What he does sometimes in the match is he goes backstage, comes back out with a built tent, like a camping tent, puts it in the center of the ring, puts his opponent in the tent, goes to the top rope, jumps off onto the tent. That's a pretty cool weapon.
No way. That is. Honestly, I wish that the Bible was his weapon. If there was a wrestler out there that was using religion as
not like it's. I don't know what it is. I wasn't a Boy Scout, but it's like their Bible, it's a handbook, not a Bible. My bad. But yeah, if someone used a Bible,
yes,
I'm sure someone does.
I'm sure someone has. I'm absolutely adamant that someone has. Yes. Did you ever see the Mountie when he was around in early WWF? He was obviously a Mountie, a Canadian Mountie, but his weapon was a shock stick. So it was literally just like a cattle prod. It was a tube and had a couple of like small, I'm going to use the word nubbins. Who knows if that's the right thing, but I've gone with it. So a couple of nubbins on the end, and he would then thrust it into his opponent, and of course it didn't actually do anything, so they had to like writhe around and pretend to be electrocuted, right? And whilst they were doing that, they would pipe in this kind of a noise, this surely if you was there live and you could hear it coming out the speakers, you'd be like, well, this is a bit strange, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like he's in the ring doing that
really well.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, I lapped that up as a kid. As a kid, I was totally convinced that was deadly, and I was totally on board with it. So that was one of the weirder kind of items. Of course, you had Undertaker as well with his urn. He was using the urn a lot, certainly in the early days. And Hacksaw Jim Duggan with his 2x4. How weird was that as well? Just a bit of wood that he used to just chuck around. I never understood what... I mean, like, I know his name was Hacksaw, so I'm guessing that's where it came from, but... I mean, yeah, I couldn't... I think you know that you've got a great weapon. I was thinking about this earlier. You know that you have hit the sweet spot when they start making foam replicas of it. So when you went to like WWE house shows back in the day, you could actually buy foam 2x4 Hacksaw Jim Duggan things. There'd be people in the crowd holding them up. They did little foam Undertaker urns as well. So you could get those. I remember seeing foam Tatanka Tomahawks as well that people had in the crowd. So I think if your weapon gets made into a foam replica, you've done it. You've made it.
Yes.
There's obviously there's tons. There's so much that we can speak about. One of the weirdest ones I saw, I think from that same article, was, I'd love to give credit to that article, but in all fairness...
Yeah, whoever did it.
Yeah, but in all fairness, they didn't fully research the gummy bear thing, so forget them. That's how I feel about it. Popcorn. Did you see the popcorn one?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah! Yeah, with Mick Foley.
Yeah. So during the, I think the halftime heat, was it, or something, during the Super Bowl, they did an empty arena match, Mick Foley against The Rock. They went around this empty arena, and at one point Mick Foley grabs this giant bag of popcorn, like swings it over and starts beating up The Rock with popcorn. So it really is anything and everything they can get their hands on. Coconut as well. I don't know if that was from that article, but do you remember, I don't know if you ever saw it, but Rowdy Roddy Piper with a coconut on Piper's Pit. It's a bit controversial, because on Piper's Pit, this is like back in the 80s, he said apparently to the stagehands, he's like, right, can you get me some Fiji related, I mean, like, what are you meant to get me something that I can make fun of from Fiji, because I think they were making out that's where Jimmy Snuka was from. So they came back with loads of fruits. They came back with, like, bananas, pears, and a coconut, right? And Roddy Piper claims, right, and I don't know if this is true, but I've seen an interview that he did. He claims that he had never seen a coconut before, never had a coconut before. Like, this was like an exotic fruit back then, and he just didn't know, right? I mean, so he's got these bananas and all of this, and he's saying, look, I want you to feel comfortable. I'm going to do my best to make you feel comfortable here on Piper's Pit. Look, we've got you some bananas here. Have some bananas. What else have we got? We got you some pears. Have some pears. Yeah, I've gone out and I've got you a coconut. I've gone and got you a coconut. And I think Jimmy Snuka turns his back and he just boom right on his head. Right on this coconut just this was not a gimmicked coconut. This was a real coconut. I mean, I don't even know like where you'd get a gimmick coconut from, but this is a real coconut. Boom! Right, and it explodes. And wow, Jimmy Snuka just falls into the set. The set collapses down. He goes down on the floor. He's basically out, but he's still kind of with it. And Roddy Piper's like, I don't know what to do. So he says, well, in that moment, I knew we were still filming. So I was like, I'm just going to whip him. So he took his belt off and he started just whipping it. I mean, talk about adding insult to injury. He just smashed him in the face with the coconut. He's like, don't know what to do. I think I'll whip him. And apparently, if you rewatch that segment from Piper's Pit, Jimmy Snuka does finally get to his feet, screams, and just chases after, and it is all legit. He didn't know it was going to happen, and it is one of the most incredible moments in like wrestling history. Madness. Have you got
trash? I like trash. Trash cans.
Yeah.
Especially when it's at indie shows and it's not gimmick trash. That's funny. seeing what everyone threw out because it's always gross. And it's like when the bad guy goes in there, when the heel goes in there, it's like, yeah, screw you, dude.
Oh, can we go?
You're trash.
Seeing as this is already PG-13/PG-18, did you see the Priscilla Kelly or hear about the Priscilla Kelly one? The used tampon.
Oh yeah.
With the tampon.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I never saw that. I've never really heard of it.
She.
But I just know it's like I know that, but I don't know the details.
Well, she was having this fight. So we spoke about. I can't remember. This came up in conversation. I love talking about tampons. So this came up in conversation not long ago, and someone pointed out that it was like no rules, no ring. It was just like a bar fight, but I mean it was worked, of course. So anyway, during this fight, she reached down and pulled it out and produced it, and then I believe she put it into the mouth of her opponent, and then like I think super kicked or did something like that, and obviously just Twitter went into meltdown. Twitter just absolutely broke. I mean it's that is too far. I think that is too far.
That's too far for you.
I think it crosses
Not
my
far
line.
enough for me.
Not far enough for you.
No, that's very tame, Days. Very
Is it
tame.
really?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, for me, I was like, I'm not sure this is why I got into wrestling, but no, it's good to know that you would
Whatever
go.
floats your boat, you know.
Wow.
Wrestling's for everyone. I
Yes.
know that's a common phrase, so I'm sure there are people that like both that CZW as well as trash matches. So
I've just got
something for everyone.
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, I just want to blast through a few more to make sure that we do
blast off time.
blast off time. So I've got IRS with his briefcase. I don't know if you ever saw, but he smashed. Do you know what? I've been doing a bit of research back in old school wrestling, like 90s wrestling. Did you know Brutus the Barber Beefcake? Right, get this for bad times. He had a parasailing accident. So he was with a friend and they were getting her ready. And for some reason, the guy that drove the boat thought the signal had been given. He starts going. She smashes into his face, right? He loses his navel cavity, completely destroys his jaw to the point where he can't breathe on his own. He has to have full facial reconstruction. I think it was something like over 100 yards or meters of wire, hundreds of stitches. Like they had to basically rebuild his face. They had to rebuild his face. This happened in 1990. He didn't return to the ring till 93. And when he did come back, he said like during that time, his parents both passed away. He also got a divorce. And it's just like, it's like so, your heart breaks for him. And anyway, where this story's going is he has his return match against the $1 Million Man. And he ends up winning by DQ. $1 Million Man's so annoyed, he grabs Brutus. IRS comes down with his briefcase. Boom! Right in his face. Smash right into his face. He goes down, and that is how we build towards $1 Million Man and IRS versus Brutus and Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 9. And that's all part of that build. And it's so interesting. I think that a weapon like that, a normal briefcase like that, is so effective because it's something he carries around all the time. I do struggle with these, they go under the ring and they just find the most craziest items. It's like, why is that there?
Why are there tables under the ring?
Yeah, I struggle with tables.
Like ladders, I understand. Chairs, I understand. Tables, I can't headcanon that.
Did you see the ladder match? From Clash of Champions recently with Sammy and Jeff Hardy and.
I heard it was good.
Yes.
I did not watch it.
There was one bit where they actually turned the ladder upside down, and Jeff Hardy got put in between it onto the supports the supports that are like surely the hardest, most brutal part of that ladder is the supports in the middle, like, and they buckled, and it's one of those where you're just like, I don't think there's a way of gimmicking those. I just think that is just straight up awfulness. So yeah, there was some crazy stuff that was done during that. Right, coal miner's glove. I never knew what one of those really was, but they used to do them all the time on a pole, and it's basically a glove that's got metal around it. And apparently coal miners use it, but why do they use it? They're not digging with their hands, are they? They're not moles. Why have they got these?
Know.
What? I don't. Yeah, it's like
maybe
big cutting equipment.
So they can tell where their hands are.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been puzzled by them, but apparently it's a glove that's covered in metal, and they used to put them on a pole, and you used to be able to grab it, put it on the person that had it could use it, and obviously,
like Thanos.
Like Thanos, yeah, like Thanos. Obviously, we got Sandman and his cane / kind of kendo stick, which is very famous for that. Sting and his bat. Need to mention Sting and his bat. Mick Foley and Socko as well. A lot of love.
Talk about gross, yeah.
Yeah, we all know where that's been. Honky Tonk Man and his guitar. Of course, you got Jeff Jarrett and Elias as well.
Yes.
Bob.
Microphones as well, as like, I just want to mention, guitars are cool because of the sound they make, as well as hitting microphones.
I thought you was gonna go down the road of like one of the most powerful weapons is words.
No,
I thought you was gonna go that way.
I've had my deep moments, but that is very true.
It is true.
But like if someone's cutting a promo and then they hit the other guy with the microphone, like that's not gonna do as much damage as other things, but just the sound it
sounds
makes,
good. Yeah,
it's really cool.
Same with the ring bell. A ring bell's quite heavy, isn't it? But it can make a satisfying bing. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
ECW with barbed wire. I know lots of other promotions, but for me, I always think ECW when I think barbed wire. And obviously Barbie, which was not the popular Mattel toy, but the baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire that Mick Foley used to carry around. Monster trucks. I don't know if you ever saw it, but
I saw that article.
Hulk Hogan and Big Show. I do remember this. This was from Halloween Havoc, and it was done on the roof, and it was a battle of monster trucks. And then I remember the giant fell off the side of the building, and then they ended up having a match in the. It was awful. It was awful. It was really bad. But monster trucks have been used. Staple gun by Jimmy Havoc in AEW.
Yeah, I hate staple guns too. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah.
Especially like when they get a piece of paper or something, boom, and it just stays on there. It's like, check. I'm done. I'm checked out.
It's moody, innit? Mr. Fuji and his salt used to throw salt in people's eyes.
Salt too. Oh my gosh, get that out of my eyes. Oof. I don't even care if it's just gimmick baby powder. Just the thought of it.
Yeah. Green mist we've seen from the likes of the Great Muta and Asuka recently.
And Triple H. It's just water that he spits out when he comes out to the ring.
Yeah. And
has he ever used that as a weapon?
I'm trying to think, and I don't think he has. I mean, I feel like he must have, but I can't visualize it. Damien was the other one I had. Obviously, famously the snake, yeah. And there's a few occasions where they've used animals and whatever. So that was all of them that I had kind of written down in research for this. Did you have any others on your list at all, or are you just sat there with the word dildos written in front of you?
I have nothing in front of me other than you and the recording. No, I honestly didn't want to mention that, but then when this episode started, that was all I could think of.
Okay.
Like, I wish I didn't see that, because I would have been much better with this episode. I did a lot of research. I read that article like you did, but then I saw that and I was like, I can't mention that. I got to talk about the article. Then we started the episode, totally forgot about the article and could only remember one thing.
That's fine. I mean, I already know that the chat are going to really enjoy it. So,
cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they are going to be putting in the chat. I should imagine, what is it that people use? Is it aubergines? Not aubergines. Eggplants. Is it it's eggplant emojis, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm expecting a few of those.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
see,
I think almost certainly they're there now. That's all I'm going to say. Is now that I've mentioned it, they're definitely there.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So this was interesting.
Yeah. I certainly took it down a weird path.
Yes, but I think everyone will have enjoyed it. I mean, look, we've hit a lot. I've hit everything that's on my notes. We've hit a lot of weapons. I suppose what we should finish on is, what is your favourite? This is meant to be best. So what would you say is your favourite, just to end on that?
That's a really good question.
It's the point of the episode.
Yeah. Favorite. What do I like to see? Well, I like spectacle. Is a weapon when they sorry, I was just gonna get on a deep diatribe, but I'll just say chairs. Chairs are easy, chairs are simple. You can do many things with them. You can put body parts in between them. You can sit down and start punching someone. You can hit someone in the back with it. You can do so many things. Very versatile as a weapon.
Yeah, and what I like about chairs is the fact that it totally makes sense why they're there. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you can always use a chair, and as you said, there's lots of different ways that you can use them. So I do like chairs. I would have to agree. I think a lot of people would probably have them at number one. I think ladders have got a place as well. Tables I do struggle with, but fans absolutely love them, and obviously the Dudley boys were very well known for tables, and obviously, just some great TLC matches in the past and whatever. So, but I'm a big fan of things that are just naturally around. So I think I'd have chairs as well. So,
what are your thoughts about belts as weapons? I know you're a belt fan.
Yeah.
Does it hurt you every time you see someone get hit with them, knowing that glorious belt could be damaged?
Do you know it does? It does upset me. I don't like belts being used. I think that it is. Do you know what also upsets me? When champions come down and just throw the belts to the side. So when a champion comes down and they get into the ring and maybe they're all fired up and they just chuck the belt to the side, it's just down in the corner. I'm just like, is someone going to pick that up? Like, what's going? I've got like OCD about it. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll just throw that away, shall we? Oh, well, I don't even know why we're here. I don't know why we're here. Yeah. I thought we were here to win championships, but it looks like we're just throwing them away now, are we? So, that really bugs me, man. So, I think that if you're having a championship match, it should be all done proper. The lights go down, the proper introductions, the main event, little plinths with the belts on at a ringside area. Maybe during the match we go over and we just have a look just check on them, see that they're all right. Yes. We just have a look at them, This is what we're fighting for. We go back to the action. So, do I want to see them getting picked up and smashed into people's faces? Not really. Plus, I mean, I'm sure they would hurt, but I feel like it's a lot easier to grab something else that will hurt a lot more.
Yeah.
Certainly if you brought a dildo down with you as well. I mean, that's going to, you know what I mean? Whip that out and that's going to do a lot more damage.
I don't know if they'll ever be used again. I feel like that was a one-time thing, and then people were like, this is a really bad idea. Why did we do this?
Wasn't it you that mentioned about a computer system being used once?
I saw Nintendo.
Yes, because I remember you mentioning about bring your own weapons on a previous episode. Yeah. And
those are always great. People get really creative. Christmas trees and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever sat and watched one of those matches.
I'd recommend it. Yeah. I don't have any where I'm like, you should watch it. Just check it out and see if it's good. It's probably not good, but you might see some weird stuff that the fans brought.
Wow, yeah. Computer systems and Christmas trees. So
yeah.
Awesome. Right, well, that is it, my friends. We are done for this week. Thank you so much to Tommy Toy Travels. Have you got anything planned for the weekend?
Oh, this weekend's going to be incredible. I am meeting up with my good friend Chalmer. He and I are going skiing this weekend. So
You're going skiing with Chalmers.
yeah, yeah.
Chalmers from the chat.
Yes, yes.
What? I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yes.
I thought Chalmers was in the UK. I didn't know that UK.
Yeah, we go back. We go back. We went to high school together.
Right.
Grade school, whatever it's called over there. College.
Yeah. Was it Hogwarts you went to?
No, we went to. Have you ever seen Misfits? We went to that place where they were bad kids. Yeah, that was me and Chalmers. That's where we met.
Well, you two are known as the Misfits.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm meeting up with Austin 316, and we're going to update our Tommy Toy Travel scrapbooks.
Oh,
yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm hoping he's got some new pictures that I can add into mine. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting weekend for both of us.
We'll see. We'll see how well he triangulates that airplane noise.
Yeah. Yeah. He is sitting there right now trying to work it out, going through, and he's just doing like extreme calculations. I'm surprised, actually, given the time, you haven't got a knock at the door already, and he's not already come round, so...
I have headphones on. Anything's possible.
Wow. Well, good luck. I hope you make it to your meeting with Chalmers then, and I hope you have a lot of fun this weekend. Thank you so much to everyone that's joined us. I hope you enjoyed this absolutely smut-filled episode. Really hoping to bring more of these to you in the future. Join us next week when we're going to be talking about... well, I don't even know what. Yeah,
Leaked out. It's so inappropriate.
Yeah, even I didn't want to finish that sentence. I started it and I was like, right, where do we go with this? And I thought, let's just not go anywhere. for the sake of mankind, let's just not go anywhere. So, awesome. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now.